Welcome back to Cami Designs, and today we're doing this simple square baby blanket, and this is I think part 11, and we're going to be sewing the stripes together. So in this you want to make sure you have your squares lined up, and then after you sew all this together, then you want to start weaving in your ends. And the next video we will be working on the edge to create a border. Let me get these out of the way. Now, I've already pinned these together, but when I say line up the squares, and I know I've got all these ends to weave in, but so when I say line up the squares, I'm pinning them so I can make sure I stitch them and they don't get off center. Like these ones are already stitched together, and you can see, you might be able to see, that the squares they're corners to corners on them here, and it just keeps it more square and a little neater. And so I have my strips here, and you do them just like when you were stitching these together. You want to do front to front or face to face, and then it's just like the other one we did. And I'm going to take this first one out, and I'll put my needle through, and I'll pull my yarn till I have a tail to weave in at the end. And I'm just going to, just almost exactly like the last one, except now this one I've got to, when I work across here like this, I want to make sure that when I get to this, that my edges are lined up. And I'll get to that and I'll show you that. So I'm just going to work across here. Yeah. And it does go pretty fast once you get into the groove of things. And this is not I didn't cut a huge length of yarn, not enough to go across the whole length. So I will have to add in more yarn to finish sewing across. But this should work over at least 2 squares, maybe 2.5. And I am sewing 2 strips together and then sewing those sets together to make 4. It's just easier than having them all adding one on top of the other, because it'll get heavy, especially if you kind of hold it up. Okay, I'm getting closer to the edge because I can see my stitch marker here. So the closer I get to my edge, I just want to make sure that my corners or my edges line up with this edge. So then I just put my hand there to kind of hold it, while I work these last few stitches. Okay, I'm almost to the corner here, and I will take out this other stitch marker now. Set that aside. Okay, it does get kind of messy because I do have all these ends to weave in. Okay, now that I'm about right at the corner here, I want to keep just going across. So what I do here, get these out of the way, is I do one right in the edge of this one. And then I do it right in the edge of that one. And I just pull it. It kind of pulls it together and tighter. And then I just go right into working the next two squares. And I am doing it in white to match the rest of the blanket. The last video I showed it in black, but then I had to take it back out and it wanted to leave black fuzzies. So this time I'm just using white. But you kind of get the idea. So you just want to go all the way across, make sure your squares are lining up at each one. That's why I pinned it, but you can also pin it in the center if you need to. That's completely up to you and what you feel comfortable with. But then when you open it up, my squares are corner to corner, and I'll show you what they start to look like once they are sewn together. Let me turn this. So this is the square that I did the 2023 in, but that's what it kind of will look like. I have cords in the way here. So you can see my squares are lined up with each other. And then in the next video, I'm going to be doing a border along the edge here. And then we'll do one along the top and the bottom. And then to weave in the back, some of them I already started. But what I'm doing is, so I have 3 from this side here that need to be weaved in, and 3 on this side. So all I'm doing is reversing them, basically. Crossing them over. So these ones I will weave into this square, and these ones I'll weave into this square. So they just kind of tie across. And same thing like over here. These 2 will weave into that one. These 2 will weave into that one. This one will weave into that one, and so on. And then that's it for this video. So this is a fairly shorter video. And this was just simple baby squares. Sewing the long strips together. And then here's the little tips. You want to make sure your squares are lined up from corner to corner. You want to start weaving in the ends. It does, if you're like me and hasn't weaved in any ends, you're going to have a lot of this. And it's nice when it's all weaved in like this up here. And then in the next video, we're going to be working on the edge to make the border. And that is it for this video. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. I always read them and I try to answer them all. Yeah. So if you like this video, please give me a like and thumbs up. And if you want to know when the next video comes out, you can hit the little bell next to the subscribe button. And I have a knit video every week and a left-handed crochet. So if you're left-handed and want to learn to crochet, check those out. And that's it. So have a wonderful day and thank you for watching. Bye!